Hi, it's Carolyn, the contest queen. So I hope this is working. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. Nothing more fun than figuring out that your camera doesn't work 15 minutes before you go live and that your phone's about to die. So now you're running around getting cables. So here we go. And I think I'm going to have to move this back a little bit because I don't think you're going to be able to see. Oh, that's better. It's always the stuff, right? Adjusting everything, which is really weird because you can't test this out in advance to make sure that it works. So if everybody wants to know, I know there's a few of you coming in. So let's see, I'm going to put it also live on my iPad so that if, where's my groups on here? So if you have questions, I can see them because they tend to be a little wee bit small that way. Also, it's also good to make sure that I'm actually live. It's nice to see that it's working. It's always a little nerve-wracking when you do these things, and I am off the middle. How do I get in the middle? There, that's how I get in the middle. That's how. I move it over because I guess it's center for the camera, not center for the screen. So this is very exciting, and the reason I wanted to do this was it just came to me, and I talked about this in the last contest club meeting. Every couple of weeks I hold a virtual contest club meeting. So if you're interested in attending any of those, just go to my website at Contest Queen and click on, it's one of the feature banners. It says, and it explains what we do in the meetings, and then there's links to everything there, so you can just sign up. And when you go to the workshop page, it's right at the top, and I have all the dates, and it's always at 7:30. I'll try and have it on a Saturday, but I haven't had anybody interested on a Saturday or a Sunday yet, so we'll work on that. But I try and move it to different weeknights so that it works for people. I know there's different time zones, and even if you're very far west, just join, because it's not firm. It's usually run from 7:30 to 9 o'clock, and last time we were having so much fun, we didn't sign off till 10:30. But what I was talking about in the group was in this Facebook group, what I talked about at the meeting in this Facebook group was Amanda had posted something, and she was asking for tagging buddies. And I try to keep this group focused on good vibrations. So you're not asking for votes, you're not posting contests, you're not looking for referrals. But to me, that one's a little bit borderline. But I like the idea of supporting each other, and to me that is a good vibe, so I left it. And then I was in the group, and I had passed her post again, and I had posted, where she could tag me. I have no problem with that. I don't enter every contest, but hey, feel free to tag me. You get an extra entry. Good vibes, right? And I noticed she was saying some words like similar to, I'm having a hard time winning, I haven't won anything. So where her attention is when she's entering is on lack. And that will not bring you prizes. You have to be excited and focused on winning to attract prizes. So if you've read The Name It and Claim It game by Helene Hatzel, she tells the story of teaching somebody how to win sweepstakes. Somebody had, of course, when you win a lot of sweepstakes, that's how, I bet you every single person in here knows that, right? They win a bunch of stuff, and someone says, well, can you show me how to win? And sure enough, you show them how to win. They're like, oh, that's so much work. Yeah, but it's fun. Some people would say the same about growing a vegetable garden. It's a lot of work for the amount of produce you get, but it's worth it. It's all about the energy and what you can get enjoyment out of, because it's not just the end result. It's the whole purpose. It's the whole process and journey that make it fun. I mean, look at all the friends that I've made on this journey that who knew that would happen from entering a few sweepstakes. You know, that's out of the realm of possibilities when I started by stuffing a ballot in a box or filling out something online. And that's kind of what this is, this exercise that we're going to do today. So she had written those words, and I thought, Now, I have been in Helene's energy for the past almost a year because I had started the process of contacting her son Dyke in last fall. I'm not even sure when. And I said to him, it was definitely by November, hey, I want to republish your mom's books. She told me I should pick up her gauntlet, and I never did anything with it. And Helene has 3 steps to entering and winning, and she has 4 steps on attracting prizes. So that I teach in a whole separate workshop, which I'm actually doing one tomorrow night. So you can sign up there. It is also on my workshop sheet. Then, so I've been looking at videos. I love putting on YouTube or listening to Castbox. Is it Castbox? I think of course it's on my phone. I can't check. Anyway, it's a podcast streaming service. I love it. So I will put around the house. I'll go on my walks. Sometimes when I'm doing mundane tasks like accounting, I love listening to podcasts because it keeps my mind active and on something else and away from something I'm finding a little boring, and I love learning. So I discovered this new channel called Inspire Nation, and it's with Michael Sandler. So I'm going to be putting, by the way, everything I talk about, Facebook isn't super friendly to be posting on in the before you go live. So what'll be happening is after I go live, it'll either happen tonight or tomorrow. It depends on how, I can get it. And I'll also be posting it to YouTube, and I'll have all the links that I talk about. So if you can't find it or you don't remember, the links will all be posted afterwards. Besides, this is a 10-day exercise, so you're going to want to come back to the group every week, every day anyway, because I'm going to be posting updates. So Inspire Nation on YouTube, and I found Ken Honda. That was the first interview that I heard, and he talks about happy money, which I still really need to blog about that because it's fascinating. And I loved his concept, so I found him, and then I started watching a lot of Michael's other videos, and one of his frequent guests is Mitch Horowitz. Now, Mitch Horowitz is a fascinating man. He's written all kinds of books. Of course, I don't have any of them here with me because they're on my Kindle, which I think needs to be charged. And it's also dying. I'm very sad. But one of the things he did was he read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And I just realized you guys might be seeing this backwards. I'm not sure. Oh, well. And he said in one of his interviews with Michael that in 2013 he came to a very dark place in his life. And what he did was he reread this book as if his life depended on it. Because a lot of people who read self-improvement books, new thought group books, meditation books, inspiration, spirituality, all that kind of stuff, come to maybe a passage in the book and go, oh, I know that. I'm familiar with that. And he said, no. He said what he did was he wasn't going to be flippant about it. He was going to read this book like his life depended on it and follow Napoleon's advice to a T. And he did so, and things started to change. And I was like, that's fascinating. So I have been reading this again, and I'm about partway through. The font is so small in this book that I find I can't read it at night before bed because it is too hard to see. because the light by my bed is dim. I don't want a bright light before I go to sleep, and the font is so small that I find I do better in the morning when I'm having my cuppa, and it's easier to read in the day, and also I'm fresh and it kind of invigorates me for the day. So that's what I've been doing in the mornings. But one of the other videos Mitch talked about was this 10-day miracle challenge. Now this is the one that I've already done. So here's a blank one. And don't forget, I posted the link to the article that he wrote on Medium in the email that I sent out, but of course I will be posting it again in this. And I'm not sure if everybody printed their, oops. I made a decision on what my goal was going to be before I did the workshop. So I printed out my sheet. Now I did this from the beginning of September. I have not received, so I decided I was going to say I am booked for 10 interviews to help me fulfill my purpose. And I did little pictures. It could have been like a Zoom interview. It could be on a paper or a blog. It could be on the radio or a podcast or a TV. That's a camera. So it could have been anywhere. I just put it out there. And I did it. I don't think I focused on it as much as I should have, because I've been focusing on a big goal for myself. So I don't know if energy can be split. I've heard someone say that you can't split your energy into two, but I don't necessarily think that's true. And Helene also said there is no failure, there's only a delay in results. So I think that the seeds I planted over the past 10 days will result in several interviews. I did have one, and I've already shared it, and I need to blog it too. So I did actually have one in the time frame, and I think another one will be booked. So we'll see what happens. But his friend Tim Botta did this form. So the idea is you start with a blank one and you're going to write it out. Now let's go through each of the steps. And the reason he came up with 10 days is he had been talking to a colleague, and she had been struggling. I apologize, I can't remember her name. I don't know. Yeah. So he came up with the 10 days because it was long enough to get you to focus, but short enough that you can actually finish it. Because there's so many 21-day programs, 40-day meditation programs, and people think, I can't, they get to day, 17 and forget, or they lose the momentum. So for 10 days, you can do this. Okay, now, I don't know how many people, did you guys read the article? I posted, I gave you guys homework before I did this. I'm not sure how many people did the homework. But the thing is, day one, we're going to actually have day one. This isn't going to be day one. Day one will be tomorrow. So we're just getting prepped today and tomorrow. So tomorrow's the 15th. I have to look at the calendar. I don't remember what days. With everything going on, it feels like my girlfriend calls it Blur's Day. We don't know what day it is. I'm looking at the calendar. Okay, so it's the 15th tomorrow, so it's perfect, because that means we're going to go from the 15th to 25th. And every day I'm going to post an update on what I've done for this challenge. Okay? So that's how I'm going to do it. So there's 6 simple steps to work on this, and everybody can have a different, whatever you want to manifest. It can be anything. So he says, okay, so the first thing you have to do is decide on something that you truly and passionately want in your life. So this is key, because if you don't know what you want, you can't get it. Imagine going to a restaurant and the waiter comes over and you look at the menu. Basically, it's life. You can have anything, right? It's like the Cheesecake Factory, the biggest menu you can imagine. And you also need to think outside the box, because if you went to an Asian restaurant, you might not think to order pasta because it's not in your realm of possibilities in that arena. So you have to think outside the box. That's why I thought, oh, it's like the Cheesecake Factory. They have like this crazy huge menu. So you can order anything you want. So you call the waiter over and you go, oh, this sandwich looks delicious. Can I get the cheese sandwich with the side of fries? Off he goes. Now you're waiting. And you're looking at the menu and you go, oh, I think I'd prefer the onion soup. You call them over and you change your order. And then after a week of this, you're like, I don't understand this. I've been doing this meditation stuff and I've been affirming it, but nothing's showing up. I don't understand why. Because you keep changing your order. You're not giving the kitchen enough time to make this service and bring it to you. If you go into a restaurant and you place an order, you let it go and you fully expect that in 20 minutes, someone's going to show up with your food. You don't think that it's not going to show up. In the meantime, you're enjoying your glass of wine and you're talking with your friends. And you might be having a little bit out of the bread basket while you wait. You don't think about it. It's the same with this. You have to pick something. You can't change your mind on it. You can't be waffly on it. You have to be specific. And the reason you have to have passion behind it, hang on. The reason you need passion behind it is it needs everything you desire in your life needs emotion, right? Emotion. E, like energy, in motion, emotion. Okay? And then you have to write it down. That's where this comes in, and this is fun. Okay? So you have to decide on what you want. And I found these markers at the dollar store, and they were from Bic. They were like a steal. And they had 3 different sets of colors. So, of course, I bought all of them. And then I have some Sharpies. Right? So I have this whole jar of markers. It's so fun by my desk. And actually, the jar I even bought at the thrift shop. I don't have fancy desk stuff on my desk. Everything I have, that's a glass from the thrift shop. And this is a candle holder that I'm using with colored pens. And you can use paint, you can use markers, you can use anything. Just be creative. Because you need to use the left side of your brain. Or the right. I think it's Yes, Carol, you can enlarge this if you want. I just used my printer, my laser printer, and it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. But if you want to take the photo, put it on a stick, and take it to Staples or Office Max or wherever, and blow it up to like 11 by 14 or something, go right ahead. Or you can create your own. Like you can cut a piece of Bristol board or make it on a Bristol board and copy this. It's just, I really appreciated the artist and what he had done. So I liked it and I just added to it. So the last one I did, I just took all those fancy markers and I drew on it. And that is adding the energy. So you have to come up with what you want. So this time I decided, because one of the things I'm lacking is some good contest time. So I'm going to have to enter every day and focus on it. Because I've been doing the radio ones, and I've been doing some pin codes, I still got Pepsi going, but I'm not really focusing on it. So I said, I am winning a grand prize in a sweepstakes worth more than $100. So it can be $100, it can be $1,000, it can be $1 million. whatever it is, right? A grand prize. And the reason I wasn't specific on the prize is because since the pandemic started, the sweepstakes are so wonky right now here in Canada. They're much better in the States, but it's a bit wonky here. So I'm just going to be a little bit vague. I'm just going to put a dollar value on it. And I also like the element of surprise. It's kind of, Helene in her book said spec it, select it, project it, expect it, collect it. And she would decide she wanted, I want to win a new frying pan, or I want to win a car, or I want to win a trip to Paris. And she would focus on that very specific prize. And that's all she would enter for. That's all she would focus on. One thing, enter that, win it, then on to the next one. I appreciate how that works, but I also like the element of surprise. But that's me, that's my personal taste. So you have to decide whether you want to be a little bit vague, because to me, I could win a $100 Amazon gift card, or, a $250 gift certificate to a local restaurant, or, something, or a new laptop, anything. I love the element of surprise, because to me, that's part of the hobby. Again, that's the emotion. I like the excitement and the anticipation, and I like the emotion of surprise. So that's why I'm choosing that goal. And then you have to write it down, easily boiled into a single sentence. So mine is going to be, I am winning a grand prize in a sweepstakes worth more than $100. That's it. Okay. So and of course it's called the 10-day challenge, so we're going to do 10 days. So it says draw a grid of 10 boxes consecutively across, and cross one out each day to mark your progress toward your aim. Oh, I didn't do that on the last one. I didn't actually mark off the days. I didn't X them off. Maybe that's one of the steps that I forgot. Maybe that's why I didn't get them all. So I need to do that. And then every day, as often as powerfully as you can, pray, visualize, affirm, meditate upon the realization of your wish. We're going to go through each of those steps in a moment. Because to me, those are actually the 6 steps, not these are the 6 steps. And then finally, here's the most important part. You have to watch carefully for the revival of your aim, and not to overlook or discount the means which it arrives. And that's very important. Mike Dooley talks about this. He says, the how is the domain of the universe. Yes, Leslie Ann, crossing it out will help you in the visualization. Silly me. But that's also the fun of it, right? So I tried it once. I got some results. I really believe the effort and work that I put in on those 10 days will result in basically seeds being planted, and those will result in interviews and media in the future. So I don't feel like I failed at all, even though I didn't get the 10 interviews within the 10 days. It's also good to practice. It's kind of like it's similar to, in my mind, to going to the gym. It's not always easy to get a whole hang of a machine on the first go, or you have to, go, and if you haven't been in a while, you gotta, maybe only jog for half an hour instead of, or 20 minutes instead of, a full hour at full bore. You gotta, kind of work your way up to it. So it's like a manifestation muscle. You gotta kind of work it a bit. Oh, that's a good one. I should do something like that. Are you working your manifestation muscles? So let's talk about each one. So this is why I wanted everyone to print it out and have their crayons ready so that we could do this together. So let's see. I'm going to pick a color. Color. Oh. Prize pink. That's what I'm going to... I'm going to write it across the top this time instead of at the bottom. So it's I am winning a grand prize. See, now there's another reason you're doing this. So I can't write. Apparently, I can't write and talk at the same time. So now I've written it across the top, and it's in pink, and it's fun. It's bright. Now, I don't know if you were doing this at the same time, but as I'm writing, so now I've got the kinetic energy of the writing, right? So now that energy of those words is up my hand and into my brain. And also I could feel the excitement right here in my power chakra. Just, it's below your breastbone. That's, your power chakra. It's yellow. And I could feel it there. I could feel the excitement. I'm like, oh, this is fun, right? That's right there. That's the energy, right? So that's the first one, right? I am. So you're going to affirm it. You need to say that affirmation every day. Okay, so that's the first one. We just wrote out the first one. The second one on the list is visualize. So because I've chosen to be vague, I can still visualize it. I can visualize, and I like to visualize closing my eyes. It works. It's easier for me. So I close my eyes and I can just picture, the mailman. Sometimes surprise prizes show up. You ever have those? So a package to just be left on my doorstep or in the mailbox. I could get an email or a phone call or a text, something like, this is fun. I don't know where the notification's going to come from. Ooh, so now I'm going to be checking my phone. Raina, we can talk about chakras another time. Actually, I don't know if I have anything on it, but there is something in my last book on it. I have a whole section for Mind, Body, Green. Actually, if you go to Mind, Body, Green and type in chakras, there's some good descriptions. So you can visualize it. So every day I'd be like, oh, is my phone going to ring? Am I going to get an email? So I can visualize it because I've won prizes before. So I know what it feels like to have an email, a letter, a package, a phone call, right? So I can use that. And the next one is pray. Now, I also discovered, now I'd heard of him before, but I had never seen him speak. He was another one that I found on Inspire Nation. And Michael interviewed Kyle Gray. Kyle Gray is an angel reader. He speaks to the angels, and he is amazing. And one of the things he says in the day is, angels, show me what I need to know today. Hang on, I wrote these down. So he says, angels, thank you for revealing to me what I need to know. Right? So that's the first one. So if you have a goal, like that, my information is prizes. But if you have a different type of goal, you might need to know something to, you might get a phone call that says, hey, or you might read something, or you might come across a video. This is why Mitchell says don't discount the source. Colette Baron Reed talks about this. She calls them cledons. So sometimes you'll be in the car and you're visualizing whatever it is, and you turn on the radio and you hear the DJ talking about it. Michael Loge, who wrote the Law of Attraction book, had this happen to him. He was doing a lot of traveling, and he was really working on his health at the time. And he was trying to eat healthy, and when you travel a lot, sometimes it's easy to get off track. And he had been doing smoothies every morning. He was like really into his smoothies. And he was going on a trip, and he thought, how am I going to have smoothies on the road? It's not so easy. And sometimes the places that have them, they're expensive, and they might have a lot of sugar in them. So he put it out to the universe. I really need to find a blender that I can take on the road, because he has, his big blender at home. He's not going to pack. And he turned on the TV, and it was when the bullet, the bullet style blenders had just come out. And he's like, that's perfect. I need that. But he looked at the ad and it was only shipping in the US. He's like, okay, well, I'm closer. I know it's available. Then he was doing some shopping and he was standing in line and two women were ahead of him in line and they're talking about making baby food. And he's, kind of half listening and he hears them talk about this bullet style blender. The woman makes the baby food in this blender. And he says, excuse me, are you talking about this type of blender? And they said, yes. And he said, but I tried to order one and I can only find them in the United States. And the woman says, oh no, they sell them over in like aisle 4. And he's like, whoa. So he put it out. He got one clue. That was a dead end, but it was a step in the right direction because he knew where, it was available. It existed. And then the next thing you know, it was in the same store he was in. So he was revealed what he needed to know. You can also say, thank you, angels, for reminding me of your presence. I love that, especially when I find dimes. I always think those are kind of like a little message from heaven. And the other prayer that he likes to say is, thank you, angels, for showing me how I can live a life of service in a way that also serves me, my joy, and my happiness. And he says you can also add, in my bank account. It's optional. And I threw in, with happy money, as per Ken Honda. So those are 3 prayers. I'll be writing them out. Actually, what I want to do is I want to go into Canva and make them little picture quotes, and then I can post them in the group and we can have them, and you can download them to your phone if you want reminders and things, because they're really nice. So those are some really great prayers. Another one that Helene always liked to say was, what God has done for others, God now does for me and more. So those are some good ones that you can use. Now, is there any questions so far? Are we good? Okay, I don't see any questions. Meditate. This is the one I struggle with because I don't do it. So now I'm not going to have an excuse. I have on my cast box, I have the Hay House, and they post different meditations every day. So I need to now go in for the next 10 days and do my meditation. And I'll probably do that right when I first wake up. So I'm going to get up at like 6 usually and go and sit and meditate. I even have a meditation cushion. They're called Zafus. I have a Zafu, a beautiful one from Half Moon that's very comfortable, and it's turquoise. It's lovely. Turquoisey teal. So you can use meditations that are already out there. Another thing you can do if you're not keen on that type of meditation is on YouTube, and I love doing these, is going to look for bilateral beats. That's one of the YouTube channels. There's all kinds of different ones, and they do music in various different hertz. It's like tuning into a different radio station. So some are for releasing anxiety, some are for manifesting joy, some is for your heart chakra, some is for creativity, some is for sleep, some is for peace, they have so many different ones. And some of them are a couple hours, some of them are, like 8 hours. So you can put on your iPod or something and put your earbuds in, and I've had naps or sleep with it in because it uses the different hertz on either side of your brain, and I sometimes sleep with them because I figure my system is doing it at night. Some tips for Okay, Rain said, what's some tips for visualizing? My mom tried to tell me how to do it as a teen, but I struggle with it. Okay. So, Raina, I want you to think of a pink elephant, possibly sitting beside you in your room. He's huge. He's absolutely huge. So you have to look up, and he can look down at you. And his pink, he's got a little bit of hair on his nose. And his ears are huge and floppy. He's got big round Buddha belly. And he's sitting there on his little haunches. And his little tusks are coming out. They're also pink. Can you see that? I want you to type in and tell me what you see. Can you see that? Because if you can, you just visualized. That's as easy as it is. So if you're trying to visualize a new home, picture yourself going with a real estate agent and walking room through room. If you are visualizing a new car, go and imagine yourself sitting in something new and just smelling that new car smell. If you're visualizing a new job, just picture yourself walking into an office in a nice, or maybe in these days you're not walking into an office shaking somebody's hand. Maybe you're turning on your Zoom and saying hi to your whole new staff. Carolyn said, I've always heard that when you're visualizing, act as if it was already true, like you've already won a prize, for example. See yourself with the prize, using it, etc. Yeah, that's true too. So it depends. Like I said, I like the element of surprise. So when I'm visualizing the email coming, which is as if it was already true, or the phone call, or the text. I can, see the text. Congratulations. Some in the text contest, sometimes they only have your cell number, so they either phone you or text you back. Okay, so Raina said she couldn't picture the pink elephant. Okay, so yeah, maybe that is a prayer for you to use for the angels. So say to the angels, I would like to learn how to visualize better. Show me how. Maybe that is your 10-day miracle challenge. Learning to visualize better. I struggle with this. I would like to improve. Show me how to do it better. And that's what you can affirm and pray every day. And then see what shows up, because that's the last part. So you can meditate. Now, the chanting is fun. They have the diem. I had to go look that up, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right. And I listened to it on YouTube, and it's the Catholic chant singing, which is very beautiful. They do it in the Catholic Church in the Vatican and things. I've heard it. It's stunning. We had won a trip, and one of the days we ended up in Rome. They took us to the Vatican. And by chance, we got there to hear the Pope giving his Wednesday Mass, which I totally didn't expect to see the Pope, and the singing and the prayers. It was in the Vatican City. It was all in the courtyard. It was stunning, and it was very beautiful to see that. But also, I like some Krishna Das. And there's maybe it's pronounced J, or Devin Pramal. They have beautiful. I'll put the links to all some of their YouTube stuff, and you can listen to that kind of chanting also, which is kind of fun. I like that. And then the last one is watch, which is, they want you to watch this and see what. Okay, and Sun says I have to work on this too. Yeah, it is a toughie. It is a toughie. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just color a little bit. So actually, I'm going to put in the date. So I'm going to get my blue. So the first day is going to be the 15th. Second day is 16, 17. Oh, look at that. The 24th is the last day. I can count. So that's what we're going to do for that. I'm going to circle each of them. And then just the whole exercise of sitting here and writing it out and imagining it and circling the days, right? And then making it pretty. Maybe I'll take another, I have a lighter pink, and I can work on and I'll post some of the links to Mitch's books. I did one the other day, I think. They had it on sale. I got his Kindle book for like $3 or something. I'm very excited to read it, but I'm in the middle of the Napoleon Hills, and I'm reading Victoria Gallagher, her Law of Attraction book, because she's going to be writing something for my next book, and I want to make sure that I have finished her book first before I ask her to write something, because I want to make sure that I understand all of her stuff. Oh, Carol said, look at that. Picture yourself eating those delicious cookies you're going to win from a local bakery. Oh, that would be delicious. Yeah, I can already see that. I can just imagine myself with a cup of tea, sitting there enjoying the... See, now I'm adding color. I think color also helps. It's fun to add color. So I'm going to put I am winning. And we actually had a big laugh at the club meeting, because we always said, oh, what kind of crap I said to somebody, what kind of crap if you win this month? And I thought, oh, that is so negative. Well, we got the idea that crap is actually an acronym for consistently reaping amazing prizes. I totally want to make t-shirts like that say I win crap, and then have it with the acronym, and then like a little poop emoji or something. And then on the back I put, contest queen, teaching people how to win crap since 2005. That's funny. Okay, so Minta says, visualizing is also good to do when you're in bed. Relax, just visualize what you want and imagine it's already yours. It's worked for me, although I want to learn how to do it consistently. Okay, so that's the other thing Mitch talks about. The reason it works when you're in bed, it's called the Hypnagogic State. Now, I didn't know what it was called, but I have been doing this for years because someone, and I don't remember who, explained that just before you fall asleep and just as you wake up, that's when you're connected to the universe. So here's what I understand. As you fall asleep, you're disconnecting you're kind of unplugging your ego from your subconscious. So now your subconscious is free to go and do whatever it needs to do. That's why they have all those weird dreams, because everything's trying to work itself out. And a lot of times it's illogical, because the brain works in images and emotions. It doesn't work in words. That's why pictures and coloring and things are helpful, because you're using kinetic energy and visual energy and emotion while you're doing it, and that's kind of sinking into your subconscious. So as you're falling asleep, you'll want to say to the universe, and this is also, the other person who talks about this is Ellen Watts, right? She does it in the shower, because she feels it's also very zen and cleansing, and feels the action of being washed over, is allowing the flow of the universe. I feel, for me, it's better as I go to sleep and when I wake up. And sometimes even if I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee and I come back to bed, I do my affirmations again as I'm re-drifting off. So I would say, I am winning a grand prize in a sweepstakes worth more than $100. And then I could say, you could also add this or something better. Because what if you set your sights on a 55-inch TV and then the universe gives you a 72-inch TV, or I don't know what the size is, a 75-inch TV. Who's going to turn that down? So I always like to add this or something better, because you never know what's for your highest good. I also like to say that in my affirmations, for the highest good of all with the most benevolent outcome for all. Right? So if I'm looking to teach a class, or I'm looking for something specific, or there's, something that I'm doing that involves others, I always say for the highest good of all and for the most benevolent outcome for all, because I figure that's going to benefit everybody. And sometimes it may not seem like it's beneficial for others. So, for example, you are wanting a new job, or you're wanting to start your own business. You've been focusing on it, you're starting it. Suddenly you get fired from your old job and you're thinking, how is this good? Now I'm going to be scrambling for money for my mortgage payment. Now I'm going to be doing this. But you're asking for this goal over here. And right now you're thinking, this is terrible. But if you always have it for the most benevolent outcome and the highest good of all, maybe you needed to shed that job to free up your energy to get the next thing. Right? There's a lot of people that say when they got ill, it was the best thing that happened to them because it was a wake-up call. Right? So let's not get you to the point that you need to get ill to have the wake-up call. Let's have the wake-up call before you get to a state where it's a crisis. That is key. So let's see, is there any other questions? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this video up. I'm going to put all the links in the description. I'm going to finish this. I'll play around with this. I'll show you guys tomorrow. So I'm going to meditate first thing in the morning. I'm going to affirm. I'm going to visualize. I'm actually going to spend an hour entering, because the one thing that's not really on here is any action. So if you want a job, you got to look on the job boards. If you want to, I can't just sit and go, I want prizes. No, I got to enter. Right? Maybe I'll add a circle. Action. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm going to add a circle that shows action. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to report. I'm going to pop on. I'm going to do a little wee Facebook Live every night. Oh, Linda said, I had a dream last night. I won $5,000. The contest had 3 tiers of winners, a $10,000 winner, and 4 $5,000 winners, and 4, let me see if I can see, $1,000 winners. Now I'm searching for those types of contests. Pay attention to your dreams. Yes! And I got a blog about this. I have the link. I haven't done it yet. I had a dream one night. I had the lottery numbers, and I didn't play them, and I think they won. Oh my God. And there was an article of a woman who did that. She saw the lottery numbers in her dream. She played them and she won $1 million. Hello. Why didn't I play them? So yes, so we're going to take it. So I'm going to enter an hour a day, and then I want to pop on here every day at some point, probably closer to the evening. But I am teaching the Maneuvers for Witchcraft tomorrow night. And then on the 16th, I also work for Robert O'Hotto a teacher that I have loved for years and years and years. I'm one of his marketing people. I manage his Facebook groups, and I do all his customer service, and I do his marketing consultation. Like, he calls me up with all his marketing ideas, and I consult for him. And once I finish taking some Facebook training, I'll probably be helping him with Facebook ads, all that kind of guru marketing stuff that I love to do. So he's teaching a course Wednesday night, and then I don't even know what week it is. Oh, and the 17th and 18th, I don't think I have anything booked. So yeah, I'll be popping on, and I'm going to be letting you know what I'm doing and how my meditations went and how I felt and anything out. And then you guys can comment, and feel free to post. Feel free to post your, take pictures and post, so we can send each other energy that those wishes will come true. And then also, because we don't want to dismiss any opportunities, say I post this one, I take a picture of it when I'm done and I post it, and then someone sees a sweepstakes they think I would really be interested in, and they can tag it to me in the group and say, hey, this might help you with your goal this week. Or someone says, I'm looking for an apartment near the city, and someone says, well, that's weird, my sister lives in that city and they have a neighbor who's moving out and their apartment might be available. So you just have no idea where that next connection could be coming from. So if you want to also post yours, you never know. So remember, just keep your eyes open. I won't read what Mitch wrote. I'll put the link to the article and you guys can reread it. And I'm also going to put the link to his YouTube. I might do these as separate posts in the group, just because it'll be better than just links on. I do the YouTube link, but I'll also be posting all these things separate over the 10 days. I'll post his interview with Michael, and I'll see if I can find his books on sale. There are the ebook ones that are on sale. I love reading. I'm a big reader. I have been since I was a kid. So if you're not a reader, I highly recommend Audible, and I think you get one book free if you sign up. I signed up and I've downloaded a bunch of books. They are great for drives, and they are great for walks. Raina said, are we doing this every week in 3 days? No. I was only planning to do this once just to see how it went. Maybe we can do it again in another month or so. I have a lot on my plate. Like, if you saw my calendar, we were just going to do it for 10 days in the group. But here's the other thing. You have a link to the article and the image, and every 10 days you can do another one yourself. You can pick whatever you want, and I'll put all the links and I'll put all the things, and I think that will help. Maybe we'll do this again, and maybe even in the new year it'd be a good time to do another one, and I can go over it and refresh and tell everybody how things went and what manifested from the first one. So I guess I'll keep this paper. I'll put it away in my special. And I also want to do another vision board. I haven't done a vision board in a while, so I want to do that too. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. I don't think there's any other questions. And if you have more questions, because that always happens, don't you ever do that? You're talking to someone, you think you're finished, you hang up, and you go, I forgot to ask them this, and you pick up the phone, you call them back. So since I'm going to be checking in over the next 10 days on what's happening, where this is going, answer. I'm going to be doing little lives every day, somewhere in the day, and you can post questions there. And if you don't catch me live, you can post a question underneath, and I can answer it the next day, or I can just reply to it by text. And also I don't have to be the only one that answers. If somebody else has an insight, or someone else has an idea, or a resource, or a thought, This is a group effort, you know. I might be the captain of the ship, but I'm not the only one running the boat. Just like my Toastmasters group. I'm the president of my Toastmasters club this year, but I can't grow the club alone. You know, it's really all boats rise with the tide. Everyone has to work together. So that's what we're going to do. And I think that's it. I don't see any more questions. I'm going to sign off. Oh, Courtney says, hi, Caroline. I'm on a trip. I'm going to Disney World tomorrow. I've been at Universal all week. Well, there you go. Okay, she's already at the end. She's won the trip, and now she's got to work on her next trip. How fun. Bye for now, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I will post a picture of my completed challenge sheet.